In this video, we will be continuing Little Nightmares 2. We last left off with Mono awakening, traveling through the wilderness, encountering obstacles such as sightings of carcasses, bear traps, and a peculiar shack. We'll start off there. But before we do that, make sure you like, comment, share and subscribe for more content. With that being said, let's begin. Mono will start off exploring the kitchen of the rickety shack. How did Mono get into this shack? Well, he got into the shack by entering the open window. Mono will pull and tug on the things that are in the kitchen to see what develops. There's a fridge over there. Mono will hop down off the counter to open the fridge, to see if it holds any clues about what's been going on in the forest. Wow! And it's fully stocked. Mono is certainly not surprised at that. Seeing that he has passed so many carcasses in the forest as he made his way here, he can almost without a doubt guess what the fridge is stocked with. There's a door here, partially opened, leading out of the kitchen. Mono will leave the kitchen to see where the open door takes him. Okay, the door takes him into the hallway of the shack. Mono begins to hear the sound of music being played. The sound of the music is giving Mono the creeps. But that can't deter him from his journey from the exploration of the rundown shack. Mono enters what appears to be a coat room. He takes a look around. The playing of music is certainly not coming from here. Mono has now made it his duty to find out where the playing music is coming from. Hopefully he finds it, with no major obstacles to stand in his way. Mono couldn't get the drawer open. With nothing to find, Mono will leave the coat room. Back into the hall, there's another door across the hall from the coat room, as the music still plays. Mono tries to get in but can't. It's closed. Mono needs to find doors that are already open. Sprinting down the hall, Mono stumbles upon a door already open. Perfect. Mono squeezes himself between the door that is being held partially closed by a stack of crates and into the room. The door takes him down 2 sets of stairs. Now the music is becoming less and less faint, and more pronounced. Is the eerie music being played down these set of stairs? Mono will find out. My goodness! Mono has found where the music is coming from, and there's a child behind the door. Mono must find a way to get through the door and free the child. Mono listens to the child play the music. The music sounds so sad and lonely. Was the child captured by someone? Mono is unsure. But he will make it his mission to free the child. Mono spots a cleaver on the wooden box. The cleaver could help him break through the door and free the child from possible captivity. Mono grabs the handle of the cleaver and begins to try and force it free, and shucks. The handle breaks off. This cleaver is no good to Mono now that the handle is broken. Mono has to find a way to get through the door. He tosses an object at the door with no success. It was worth a try. Mono searches for something that will help him break through the door to free the child. There's a wide open door over here. Hopefully there's something that can be found that can assist Mono with the opening of the door. He'll look around and he spots an axe. He pulls on the axe, freeing it in one piece. Yes! That worked out perfectly. This axe should definitely help to break down the door and free the child. Mono drags the axe to the door, but not without taking a swing first to make sure the axe works. Mono swings at the door with heavy force. You can see the child back away in fear. Mono swings at the door for a second time. The door needs more breaking down, so Mono swings at the door again to create enough space for him to get into the room and to the child. That's it. As Mono enters the room, Mono sees that the child is hiding in the darkness under the table, which is understandable. Mono motions for the child to come to him and the child obliges. You can tell the child is going to Mono with some uncertainty. Mono reaches his hand out for the child to grab hold of, and the child rushes him, causing him to fall backwards as he watches the child escape the room. Mono will give chase to the clearly fearful child. Bringing the axe along with him on the chase will probably cause the child to fear Mono even more. He will leave the axe where it's at for now. Mono calls for the child and will get no response. He saw the child run up the sets of stairs, so that's where Mono will go. Now that Mono is out of the basement, he sees the child peeking around the corner not too far from where he's standing. Who could the child be expecting to run into? The child runs off again as Mono begins his pursuit once more. Whoa! Is this a family having a meal? They appear to be distorted, much like zombies. Is this a zombie family? Mono chases the child into another room of the rundown shack and finds Mono standing under a rope. Before he knows it, the child jumps up, pulling on the rope, pulling down the door to the attic of the shack. What could be up there? The child finally speaks to Mono. He appears to need Mono's help in order for him to get up to the attic. Mono sees the child with his hands interlocked. Mono understands what the child wants him to do. They are going to have to work together as a team to open the attic's door. Nice! With their teamwork, they manage to open the attic's door. Mono will go into the attic to see what he can discover. What's that noise? Is it coming from the attic? With caution, Mono will climb the ladder and enter the attic. Upon entering the attic, Mono sees an old chest that with the help of the child, they will be able to push it closer to the drawer, in order to jump over it to get to the other side. Now they can jump over to the other side. Looking around the attic, Mono sees more bodies in body bags. Whoever is here is storing bodies all over the place, including the forest. Some are fully covered and some are partially covered. In this discovery, Mono sees a key suspended in the air. This looks like a gear. But where is the handle to crank it? Mono will have to search the attic for the gear crank. Hopefully he finds it up here. Notice the child wanting to help Mono reach the top of the drawer to get to the other side of it. Maybe Mono will find the gear crank after doing so. Mono creeps under the shelf to another part of the attic. Whoa! Another person that does not look like they are alive. She looks like a zombie. She is clutching something in her hand and it looks like the part needed for Mono to turn the gear. Mono will retrieve it from her. Hopefully she doesn't bite. Mono tries to pull on the gear to release it from the lady's hand to no avail. Mono may just have to get her to release the gear another way. Upon entering this side of the room, Mono spotted a saw by the wooden boards. Maybe Mono can grab it, and since the lady is not awake anyway, maybe he can cut the crank from her hand. It does not look like Mono is able to grab the saw. He will have to tackle this obstacle a different way. Maybe even try to pry it from her hands again. He will crawl under the shelf to make another attempt at retrieving the crank from the lady's hand. He hopes to have success. He'll check out the broken mirror before trying to pry the crank from the lady's hand again. Here goes. And oh my goodness! Not only did Mono get the crank, but he got the lady's arm as well. No time to worry over that though. Mono picks up the crank and hauls it over to the gear. Back up the wooden boards and to the gear. Gosh! There's the sound from the flesh flies feasting on the corpses again. The child picks up the crank, reattaching it to the gear, giving it a turn. One of the corpses raises. Mono will have to climb the raised corpse. The child will turn the crank to raise the corpse more, in order for Mono to jump to retrieve the key. Mono climbs the corpse. The child turns the gear to raise him, so that Mono can jump and retrieve the key. Mono agitates the key and it falls off the hook and to the ground. Mono collects the key. Success! Now to find the lock that the key is for. So, the child got chased into the attic, in order to show Mono that there is a key hanging from a hook. But what lock does the key go to? Mono will have to continue along with his journey with the child to find out. Mono will have to open the bottom drawer of the dresser if he wants to get back over it. Now that the drawer is open, he and the child will climb over it to head back down the ladder and out of the attic. Let's go! Mono and the child will exit the attic. Mono sees the door that the key should be able to unlock. It has a giant lock on it. He will use the key and unlock it. Time to make guesses of where this door will take him and the child. And the door takes them out to the back of the old shack. Mono sees clothes on the clothesline, which shows someone is definitely lurking around here and an outhouse. Mono will continue on with his journey of freeing the child. Mono is being careful of where he steps. He certainly does not want to get caught up in a bear trap at this point. And there is an open door here, being held open by a large rock. Is someone in here? A large rock holding a door open is a sign that someone is definitely around in the area. Mono and the child walk into the shed and hear strange noises coming from the other side of the wall. They will investigate the sounds. With the help of the child, Mono will push the box to the window of the shed in order for the two to be able to reach it and jump through it. That should be the perfect positioning for the two to make the jump for the window. Mono jumps up to the top of the box and makes a leap for the ledge of the window, grabbing on and pulling himself into the window, with the child following right behind. Okay, a room full of animal pelts. Whoa! Who in the heck is that? It sounds like he is skinning animals right now. Mono and the child must be careful not to disturb him. Oh no! Mono, you moved way too fast. The hunter has picked up his shotgun and knocks Mono out. Mono awakens again, with a better plan to not get caught by the hunter. He and the child must creep in the shadows as silently as possible. Getting noticed by the hunter will cause them to be knocked out by the hunter with his shotgun. With the help of the child, Mono will push the pet flap open that leads to outside just before the hunter turns around and sees them. And that will wrap this Little Nightmares 2 video up. Make sure you like, comment, share and subscribe for more content.